Hi, Christy. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. How are you today? Thank you for being patient. I had to take all last week off. I stayed in the hospital, slept in a chair all week last week, and I'm always booked out for a week or two. So thank you for being patient. And I don't know that I've done a reading for you before, so I like to say real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. This is not an exact science. I call it spiritual charades. They'll talk, but they show me pictures too, and I have to describe the picture to you to the best of my ability. So hopefully it's not for me to know all the information. It's for me to get enough to you that you understand what they're talking about. I don't need to know all the details. It's none of my business. And sometimes they don't want to tell me. They just want to tell enough for you to understand. So, I stink at names. I know I should quit saying that. I'm just making it worse, but if I say the name John, it will at least be a male name with a J or a J-O name. And, so don't throw the whole reading out if I get a name wrong. That's just one of my hiccups. I think that's it. I haven't done my spiel in a while. I almost forgot. I had a whole week off. So, we're going to talk to your dad, Bernie, today. And he's already been here. And I wish I had waited to pull the card. He asked me to pull a card for you. First, he came in with his hands in prayer. And I said, okay. And he says, pull a card for her. And pull a release card. So I did, and I wish I'd waited now because I didn't want to take up time doing the shuffling. And this is the card that came up. Surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard through the universe, and answers and support will arrive. So with him coming in with the praying hands and asking me to pull this card, and this is what came up. It's not just about, he's making a big deal out of it, but it's not just about going to church and being in a pew and kneeling and praying in church. Prayer is not just about being inside those four walls of that building. Prayer is about also being grateful for what you have, praying, thanking the universe or source or God or whatever you want to call. There's something there, so whatever you want to call it, thanking them, thanking your team. You have a team of guides and angels, whether you know it or not, and departed loved ones. So, but when you do it from your heart, and prayer is not about, please, I got to have this, you got to bring me $10 tomorrow. It's about asking. It's not really about asking. It says you will be heard through the universe, and that means your team, your guides, your angels will hear you, and answers and support will arrive. You have to ask them, not beg, but you have to ask them, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want my life to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, whatever that picture is of your life that you want. Ask them to help you. They cannot override your free will choice. Where was I going with that? They will put people and things in your path to help you get to the thing that you're asking for. If the thing you're asking for is in your best good and on your path that you need to be on. I know that sounds a little complicated, but it's really not. So ask them. And then you have to be willing to accept the help. You'd be surprised the things that have popped open for me because I go, well, what is my next step? I'd really like to do this towards my goal. And somebody will call me and go, hey, you want to join us? And it'll be exactly what I want, what I need. It's not always what you want. It's what you need. So, he's making a big deal of that. So, okay, so now he's holding a very small infant. and he's holding it like this and looking at it with a lot of love. Let's see, I don't know if this is you when you were young or if this is a new one in your life now. I see the word baby above his head. Obviously it's a baby. Not sure where he's going with this, and like I said, sometimes they don't always tell me everything. Then he holds the baby up. I can't even tell if it's a boy or a girl, and that's kind of weird because usually I can sense it. Holding the baby up in front of him. This baby will be something awesome. I believe it's a male, so that wouldn't be you. Coming. Something coming. Something coming. So... oh, see, we're talking this cryptic spiritual charade stuff. He's not being real clear what the purpose of this is. So what, I hate to be vague, but what I think he means is there's one coming, and this child is going to be something really awesome in this world, in our world. He's not saying in what way it's going to be awesome. He said it's going to bring people together. First in the immediate family. And then he's showing that it's going to spread, where he's going to bring people together. Where it's going to be... this baby's eventually going to be something big. Don't cramp his style. He will do things you don't understand. Don't cramp his style. Let him flow freely. You will be amazed. I don't know in what area we're going to be amazed, but he's going to be somebody that his light is going to shine very brightly. So I don't know if this is going to be your child, a grandchild, a nephew. He's not saying. So even if it's not your immediate family, he's wanting you to know this, and that he's wanting you to help make sure nobody covers his light up. He said that's very important. Let him be in charge. He's calling you a guardian. He's wanting you to be the guardian of him letting his light shine, if that makes sense. So if this is not your immediate family, that can be kind of hard. So somehow you're going to be an important factor in this whole scene that he's trying to show me that's going to play out. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. It's funny, I hear hair of the dog, which to me is if you've drank too much the night before and you take a sip of beer or something in the morning, you're getting hair of the dog. I doubt that that's what he means. And I hear it a lot. So I'm not sure what this hair of the dog means in this context. Now, then he says, bite the bullet. Go ahead and do it. He's off on a different subject, I believe. I don't think we're still on the baby. What are you afraid of? Time will tell. You're beautiful. I'm sorry. I should have spent more time with you. How could I have missed your beauty? How could I have missed your beauty while I was still here? Which I'm taking it as he didn't see the full value of your beauty while he was here. And now he does. Now he's showing you skipping. Skipping, skipping, skipping. Just skipping, just so carefree, skipping. And he says, this is the way I want you to always feel. Carefree, not a care in the world. He said there's some things, and he's like showing, it's like dark stuff, but it's not evil stuff or anything. It's just like heavy, heavy stuff. He says you got to push some of that back because it's not worth it. And then he's over here, you're skipping, skipping, skipping. He wants you to turn your back to that stuff, whatever that stuff is that makes you feel heavy. And he wants you over here feeling light, lighthearted, skipping, skipping, not a care in the world. We can't exactly live that totally that way here, but I understand his concept, what he means. We do have crap we have to deal with here. He says life is more beautiful than you're allowing it to be. All right, let's see if we can pinpoint him to something else. Get him to change subject. I don't know what he means. He takes his hand and he kind of, and I can get that low. I can't remember. And he kind of goes like this on your gut, like grabbing at it. He says you have to go back to your core belief. You need to go back to your core belief, and your core and your gut belief. What you believe in your gut. Your gut is actually your psychic antenna. You know, if you walk up to somebody and your gut twists, that's your psychic antenna telling you something wrong here. He says, Grandma comes to visit you. Grandma, there's a grandma who comes to your house and visits you that is up there with him. And you will smell stuff cooking, but I'm not getting any particular thing. Usually they'll give me a particular smell from the kitchen. I'm not getting an exact smell. It's just like food cooking. Oh, then I hear bacon. Bacon. Everybody loves bacon. Okay, so he's showing he's got a little drum, and he's got his drumsticks, and he's hitting the drum. So you have, or you're going to hear, it's probably okay. He's just showing me the drumming, so it's not. You're probably not going to hear what sounds exactly like a drum being hit, but you're going to hear a drumming noise, like in your house. It could be tapping on the wall. It could be tapping on a table. He's not showing me. He's just showing me a drum, and I don't. Maybe you will hear a drum. Sometimes you don't hear it here. Sometimes you hear it up here. He says that you have seen him walk by. When you see them walk by, I cannot explain it because I don't know why it works this way, but usually you'll see them in your peripheral vision on the side, and then when you turn your head, there's nothing there. So you could be, he says, sitting in a chair in the living room, and you thought you saw somebody walk by. You thought you saw something go by, and then when you turned and looked, there wasn't anything, so you didn't think anything of it. That was him. And it doesn't usually happen a lot. Okay, now all of a sudden his energy got extremely strong and he got extremely tall. I was watching him rise and get bigger. And he's getting a little bit huffy. There's somebody around you that he doesn't like. Let's say it's not that he doesn't like them, that they are not in your best interest. They are, he says, they make you feel less than. Then he's pointing at the skipping girl. He makes you feel less than that, and he doesn't want you feeling less than that lighthearted, carefree, not a care in the world. So there's somebody that he is trying to put himself in between you and them to keep their negative energy away from you. And he powers up his energy pretty strong for that. I don't quite understand how it works, but it takes a lot more for them to produce that much energy, to move objects, things like that. It just takes more effort for them, more energy. Okay, now he's first it floated, and now he's holding it out a white feather. He's showing a white feather on your kitchen counter. So I don't know if that means the feather's going to be exactly on your kitchen counter, or you're just going to find them in such weird, odd places that it's like, how did that get there? Like, I walked through my house 10 times one day, and I don't have any feathers in my house. I don't have any birds yet. And there was one stuck on my slipper, and it was stuck in there so hard I couldn't hardly pull it out. That's when they're really trying to get your attention, when it comes up in just the weirdest places. So he's showing the kitchen counter, so now whether it actually shows up there, we'll see. But he's showing that it's gonna do it in different places than just walking outside and a bird might have dropped it. He says you have a surprise coming. It's a big surprise. It's a very pleasant surprise, and he's not going to say what it is because he doesn't want to spoil the surprise. He says, but it's going to be big. I don't know that he means big in size. I think he just means big for you, big for your life. He mentions May 12th, so that would be more than likely somebody's birthday, anniversary, something like that, and that there's a birthday coming up real soon. He's acknowledging that. I'm hearing November. That's not real soon. That's a little ways away. He will be there for the celebration. He's showing two people, male and female, don't know who they are. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for what they show. So anything you don't understand now, write it down. You're either going to remember it later, you're going to see it later, or somebody in your family is going to validate it for you and go, oh, I know what they're talking about. But there's two people. They have the big, tall, oh crap, what do you call it? Glasses, champagne-looking glasses. They're kind of the long stem, and then the top of it's kind of tall and skinny. Doot, doot, doot. I don't know how tall. And he's showing that. And they're sitting at a dinner table out in a restaurant. It looks kind of like a fancy restaurant. Not sure where we're going with this. I don't know if this is a memory or something coming up. And they're holding their glasses of champagne across the table, and they're toasting each other. They're clicking the glasses together. And there's only two, male and female, dressed up nice. And there's music playing. And he says it's a gift. No, they get very cryptic with their messages sometimes. It's a gift. It's a gift. Something about that evening is going to be a gift. He says sometimes you get very sad. And then he shows how him and this grandma come in, and it's like there's a cloud of energy around you that they bring. It's not your sad negative energy. It's a cloud of energy, kind of like it just like a cloud around you to kind of dissipate the sad part and kind of lift you up. It's a loving energy. It's a positive energy. I know I have felt energy like that before, so strong that it's made me cry because it was so full of love and peace. It was good, a good cry. So they're working together to surround you with this. He says he loves what you're doing with your life. He says you're slowly finding things that really actually make your heart and your soul happy. Your home, your career. He's showing a car. He says it doesn't have to be a big fancy car. It's a car. You don't have to have top of the line to be happy. It gets you down the road. Color doesn't matter on the car. That doesn't get you down the road. He said he had his nose to the grindstone too much when he was here, and he forgot to stop and smell the roses on the way. Life is beautiful. It is what you make it. Okay, here we go with the names. Don't throw the reading out if the name's wrong. I hear the name Cory, C-O-R-Y. So if it's not Cory, oh man, Cory could be male or female, really. You have to tell me which it is. Okay, I feel like it's a male name. It's at least a C or a CO name. Not an older person. Not sure why he's acknowledging this person. Sometimes they just throw names out. He says you go above and beyond for some people and they don't appreciate you. He says Grandma appreciates you, talk to her. Yep. And we got quiet for a second. Hang on. Okay, I asked him, I said, we really need some more validations here. But I do not make my whole readings about validations, because to me, if I just keep proving what I can do, I think that's mediums patting themselves on the back. That's their ego. But I like to have at least 2 or 3, so you know for sure it's him. He says, you don't need that, you're going to know this is him. But then he showed me a St. Bernard. I can't tell if this St. Bernard is here or there. Usually I can tell one side or the other, but he's not showing me whether it's still here or with him. So if it's still here, know that he interacts with the dog. If it's up there, well, that sounds really vague. I hate to do that. If it's up there, know that he's got this dog, but he's just shown me St. Bernard all by itself. And not explaining why. I can't twist their arm. It's their show. He said he wants to tell you again how beautiful you are and how much he loves you. He loves you to the moon and back. He's sorry he left. He's sorry he had to leave when he did. But you're becoming a stronger person because of it. He said there's always a plus in it. He's talking about when he left, and it let other things play out in other people's lives in a different way than it did while he was here, and that is the purpose of it, if that makes sense. Okay, he's referring to me having trouble with my memory. It's getting bad lately, so there's somebody around you that's having that problem. He says to be kind. They can't help it. So somebody you know is starting to have a memory problem or Alzheimer's or something. Okay, I'll tell her. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to not be able to remember things. So, know that they are terrified. He wanted you to know they're terrified. So he's not even saying if it's male or female or who it is or how they're related. But it's somebody that he cares about, somebody that he hates seeing in that situation. Okay, he's coming over here. He's right here behind my shoulder. He's right here. And he's kind of putting the, I guess you could call it pressure. It can I can feel his energy, and I don't know how you will feel it because everybody feels it different. But it's like a change. It's like a bubble hitting you from the back, kind of. Now my head's itching. When they get that close, I feel like I have head lice. So if you feel like an itch, like in one little spot, and it just keeps happening and keeps happening, it feels like a bug crawling on your scalp. It may not affect you that way, but it affects me that way. But he just did that, like he touched the back of my head with his finger and made it itch. But also this pressure over here, it's kind of like when somebody's staring at you across the room and you feel it and you turn around and you see them. But this is like a bubble bumping up against me. So sometimes it'll be tingling or warmth, or my ear will get burning hot, or this is like a bubble. So he wants you to know when you feel that. Oh, now I feel him touching my shoulder right here. So if you feel something there and it feels like a hair, kind of feels like a hair, and you go like this and it's still there, or if you think it's a bug, that's him touching you. I ask my people, there's been, to quit doing all the banging and the stomping on the floors and stuff, because people think that their house is haunted and there's a ghost there. And if it's not a ghost or something, I don't even want to say bad. If it's just a loved one, don't scare them. Come across some other way. So that's what I ask my people to do. He said he'll let you know he's there. The smell of some kind of smoke. And these things, you don't have to be in your home. Like the smell of the smoke, the smell of the cooking food from Grandma. You can be in Walmart in your car, walking down the street. It doesn't matter. When you get that smell, or you think that touch is there, or you feel that bubble bumping you, or you find that feather, tell them, thankful, that you're grateful, that you know that that's them, and please bring you more. And once you acknowledge it, you realize these are your signs and stuff, it'll open your eyes to, there's more out there. There's more signs out there. People are getting signs all the time. They just don't realize it. They actually want you to know that they're there, and that they're okay, and they're safe, and they're still with you. And he's actually showing me him playing a violin. If he did not play a violin, I don't know why he would be showing that. I'm trying to get him to answer me. Something about the music. Something about violin music. So that might be something else you're going to hear. You might be walking through Walmart and you might hear, I always pick on Walmart. You might hear violin music playing on the intercom. Or you might see it in a TV show. I'm not sure the significance of the violin. And I won't make things up. I won't make things fit in a box that when it doesn't belong there. He wants me to show you that cardigan. What to do with it? He wants me to show you this cardigan, not to forget it. Don't. You'd think I'd be able to know where to put the damn thing by now. Surrender to prayer. Like I said, not just going to church and kneeling on your knees. He says you can pray outside. And it's not just prayer. It's talking to them and being grateful. He says he loves you. He's going to leave. Know that I'm sorry. He feels very mellow, secure, safe, easygoing. He's just he has a very calm, nice energy to him. Some of them come through like gangbusters. Some of them come through a little wild. He's very calm, very, very loving energy. And when they get to the other side, there is a little process you go through where you get cleansed of all the crap that is hanging on you here on earth. And he's evidently he's hit a good place. Very, very nice energy. And so does Grandma. Grandma's a little more stern. But she says this is not her time to talk. She's not going to come through more than she has. Okay, he's leaving. So, like I said, if you don't understand some of it now, write it down. You'll understand it later in some way. And watch for and smell the smells and the feathers and the touching, little touching. And much love to you, my dear. Thank you for being patient. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. See you later.